Today we will be speaking about a local computer repair business, The Computer Guy, based in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Conducting this presentation is myself, Michaela, followed by Brooke, Emily, and then finally Melissa. We all took part in creating our own slides, and Melissa is in charge of conducting the PowerPoint. About The Computer Guy. The Computer Guy is owned and operated by Joshua Stackstrud in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He's a one-man operation who works in-home. His services include a diagnosis, which is typically $30, data recovery and transfers, which is $50, upgrading or installing Windows is $150, house calls are $50 minimum, parts is the amount for the part plus $50 an hour for labor, depending on how long he thinks it'll take to fix your computer, and he does sometimes have an inventory on hand. Next, we are going to be talking about SWOT. So some strengths that the Computer Guy has is he has excellent customer service and an extended knowledge of the industry. He has satisfaction guarantee. So if you get your computer back, find out that it's still running a little slow, don't really know if everything's up to par, he'll take care of it free of charge. He does house calls, and he has quick service. He usually will get your computer back to you within a day or two, as long as nothing needs to be ordered. His weaknesses, he only travels 25 miles for his house calls, and there is a larger computer repair business in the area. Everyone knows it as Geek Squad, and being he is a one-man operation, it is a disadvantage for him. Some opportunities, being the whole coronavirus is going on right now, a lot of people are transitioning and working from home. Because of that, business has been booming recently. He is very knowledgeable in many different areas regarding technology repairs. He doesn't only do computer, he works on smartphones, smartwatches, basically anything that runs off of data or internet. And he has great advertising on Facebook and through Alexa. Some threats, like mentioned earlier, Geek Squad, the Neighborhood Tech Guy are some of his competitors in the area. Technology is changing very quickly, and sometimes it is hard to keep up with that. And a lot of times when a laptop or a phone breaks, customers don't know that it can be a cheap and easy fix. Instead, they'll just go and buy a new piece of equipment altogether. Next, we're going to pass it on to Brooke.
I will be talking about the potential resources, local resources, and special resources. A potential resource the Computer Guy could use is another small loan. In September of 2019, the Computer Guy had received a business loan through Kaiva for $2,000. He used this loan to expand his advertising and upgrading to a better quality phone, because with no phone, he has no business. If he wanted to expand his company, he could use another resource to obtain additional funds, like a bank or investment firm. Two local resources that could provide these funds would include the Wisconsin Business Development Finance Corporation and the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. Other funding and resources needed include keeping up with and filing sales taxes, as well as keeping up with documentation for staying legally compliant. Some special resources he may use is a hard drive docking station. It's needed to transfer data from hard drives that are going bad or dead to better, more efficient hard drives. He also needs materials containing the knowledge of being able to fix electronics and the updated technology that comes out in the future. Also, updated tools for fixing new technology, as tools for computer repair are much different than around-the-house tools that he is currently using. Next, I'll talk about the Small Business Association, or SBA. SBA gives tips and more information on requesting funds and expanding. They also have a PDF spreadsheet available for someone to use to calculate startup costs. The SBA website also provides a link to the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which helps small businesses win government contracts. The Computer Guy could benefit from this by gaining the knowledge to win over the technology maintenance contract of a school or other large government buildings. After calculating the startup cost, it is determined that if the Computer Guy was not already in business but wanted to start one as of today, his beginning cost would be a total of about $980 before tax. This is shown in the chart above, or in the slide. Finding the items and costs were determined while interviewing the Computer Guy. The organizational structure is what determines how much a business pays in taxes, how the business is ran to day, what paperwork needs to be filed, and the owner's personal liability. These business structures consist of sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability, corporation, C Corp, S Corp, B Corp, and nonprofit corporation. The computer guy operates as a sole proprietorship, meaning the business is not a separate business entity, but is considered personal assets and liabilities of which the owner has full control. Advantages of this are being a sole proprietor work best for him because, as stated on the SBA website, sole proprietorships do not produce a separate business entity. This means your business assets and liabilities are not separate from your personal assets and liabilities. Now, some may see this as a negative attribute. However, this works well for Josh, the computer guy, and his company because what the company makes, he makes, and what is put into the company is based off of his personal bank accounts, so it makes it easier for him to budget. Sole proprietorships also work well for him because if you intend to work alone, the structure may be the way to go, which is exactly what he wants to be doing. He doesn't want the hassle of having employees or a partner always worrying about if they're doing their job or if it's to the degree it should be. However, few negative aspects of sole proprietorship that he has noticed is the amount of tax as well as his potential assets are also the business assets. One of the primary advantages of a sole proprietorship is the self-employment tax of 15.3% on the ordinary net income generated by your business. Despite this disadvantage, a sole proprietorship is a good choice for the computer guy. The simpler structure allows for the owner to be in full control and have fewer requirements so the business can operate smoothly. Emily will now be taking over to talk about the target market.
Just as it's important to talk about the organizational structure, it's important to know about the target market because it helps us develop campaigns and determine a company's viability because we know who the customers are and how many exist. The computer guy's industry, computer repair, has a huge market in the U.S. According to the Census Bureau, 77% of U.S. households have broadband internet subscription. In La Crosse alone, over 26,000 people are interested in technology and entertainment. That's 43% of the population. Breaking this down by age demographics, this chart shows us who visits computer electronic stores. It's clear to see that these stores see customers of all ages almost equally. The segment of this market that the computer guy targets is adults roughly 30 to 70 in the La Crosse and La Crescent area, who tend to be middle class, meaning they make about $40,000 to $122,000 per year. There are 62,000 people in this area, in the La Crosse and La Crescent area, who fit this criteria. We multiply this number by 77%, the number of people who have an internet connection, we get 48,000 people who are in the computer guy's target market. These consumers that he targets have some similarities in their traits, both behavioristic and psychographic. Behavioristic being they rely on their device for work and for personal use. Another is that they do not want to travel to repair their device, which is why the computer guy is appealing to them. In terms of psychographic traits, they're people who are socially conscious and value local businesses over corporations. They're also people who value conserving and fixing what they have over always getting the latest product. The computer guy's customers are also budget conscious, as he offers a rate that is lower than his competitors. Getting on this topic, let's actually take a look at some of the computer guy's competition in the market. The companies that we compared the computer guy with are Tech Service Guys, Geek Squad, and the Neighborhood Tech Guys. In terms of services offered, they are all about the same, such as repair, hardware repair, laptop repair, screen repair, checkup, and tune-up, data transfer, and data recovery. An obvious difference between those companies is their price points. The computer guy utilizes the loss leader technique to be competitive in the market, meaning that he prices his services lower than other competitors to attract customers who are looking to find the best price. The computer guy's competition may have some apparent advantages, however, one being that Tech Service Guys are the #1 search result on Google for computer repair in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and the Geek Squad has an advantage of being well known as it's mass marketed and has multiple locations internationally. So considering his ability to get word of mouth referrals and that he is the loss leader in the market, the computer guy has nothing to worry about in terms of competition, but in fact has an advantage. Now Melissa will take over to discuss the industry's growth and potential.
Thank you, Emily. Now, based on this target market, we find out that there's a data census from the ages 30 to 70 that have an estimate about 58,360 people in La Crosse and 3,987 in La Crescent, Minnesota. The middle class income, which consists of 40,500 to 122,000, has around 29,414 individuals in the area. Based off these numbers alone, it appears that the computer repair industry would have a very strong growth potential. There is proof of potential market growth when looking at the projected industry sales. The computer repair industry is expected to rise in the number of sales in the next 2 years. There's a Barnes report that shows that there's a 2.5% increase sales in 2018 and 2019, and a prediction this year that is about to rise to 4.2% and 4.3% in 2021. This rise is expected to be met with some growth in the number of some businesses. They also predict that there's an 89.5 million in industry sales in 2020, and by 2021, it'll be 91.9 million. These numbers show the computer guy has an opportunity to grow in industry and is expected to keep growing. At the end here, we have listed some resources for our statistics. We believe that you should invest in this company because it'll allow more money for advertising, space, inventory, and employees. And we would like to ask you if you would invest or buy. Thank you.